You are listening to the Real Estate Growth Hackers Show.
Hello and welcome to Real Estate Growth Hackers Live. My name is Zach Hammer. In this episode, I've got Matthew Barnett. Now, Matt is an industrial designer before design thinking became a thing. Matt's been building design-led, culture-focused businesses for the past 8 years. They disrupt the way that brands communicate with customers and believe true relationships lie at the heart of sales and retention. The challenge that these guys solve is how to scale those relationships. So they're headquartered in Sydney and they have teams in London and Colorado, and you'll usually find them hanging out in bear suits, which, lo and behold, Matthew is currently hanging out in right now. So let's go ahead and bring Matt in his bear suit. Let me get your name showing up here. Matt, welcome to the show. Welcome back. We were just talking in the pre-show, but welcome back again. Good to have you.
Morning again, everyone.
So anybody who's just turning in right now, if you missed the pre-show, if you're just watching live, Matt, where are you calling in from today?
It's 7 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. So taking this one from home before heading into the office.
There we go. Matt's calling in to most of us here in the States from the future. So he can let us know if there's any problems that we run into as the human race in the future. And so it's good to have him there out on the forefront for us. So Matt, let's dive in and let's start talking about some of the cool stuff that you guys are doing. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Go for it.
So give me a really quick introduction. Tell me a little bit about this cool app that I recently stumbled on called Bonjoro. Yeah. What's it about?
Okay, I'll tell you a very quick little story rather than doing the pitch.
Love it.
We built this as a customer success hack for another product we have. Being in Australia, your customers are never in Australia because it's a tiny country. So all our clients were in the States, in the UK, in Europe, and we used to send email marketing to them when they first signed up for our product. So the first piece of communication they would get would be an email. Everyone does this. One day, it kind of clicked that the reason we got on so well with everyone was because of this.
Right.
This personal communication, we're really good at sales. We love people, and so one morning we just said, why don't we send every single person who signs up a video to that one person?
Right.
So Jane would sign up from Ogilvy, and we send a video to Jane from Ogilvy. And we did this, and we tripled our response rates and tripled our conversions literally on day one.
Awesome.
And lo and behold, those customers started asking us if they could use this. And so we built a little app that plugs into your CRM so that as you get new inquiries, they come in, they pop on the phone, you do an individual welcome for that individual.
Right.
So for John, for Derry, whoever it is, we show you a little bit of information about them. That video gets delivered into their email inbox and they can watch it. And they suddenly realize that you've taken time out of your day to actually go and say hi. Right. And no one does that. And the impact that makes is outstanding.
Oh yeah, it's so powerful. It's honestly, it's one of those things. When I discovered it through I watched a Periscope that Pat Flynn did from Smart Passive Income, where he was showing how he's using it to onboard his customers to his different products. Are you familiar with Pat Flynn?
Yeah, I know Pat. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Awesome. So I watched that and I was like, man, this is really a perfect thing for really for any industry, but especially in real estate, because one of the things that real estate agents constantly struggle with is say they're generating leads on a site like Zillow, right? What a lot of people don't understand is that leads that are generated on Zillow, unless you're an agent. If you're an agent, you understand this, but those emails, those leads that are generated are often sent to like 4 or 5 people at the same time. So these people who reached out just expecting to get some help are very often getting hounded by like 4 or 5 people, all about the same thing, all trying to get to them. And you almost start to build up like this cynicism as the lead, as the person who's on the other end of this, because like you have all these people who are just not really being very personal. It's all automated stuff, and you don't actually know if you're talking to a real person who can help you. But what's powerful when you do something like use the videos from Bonjoro, now you're able to actually sit there and say, hey, I see you just reached out to us about XYZ property, and hey, really great property, excited to get you some more information about this, looking forward to help you. You just reply to this email, let me know what questions you have, whatever the script is. But that very personal connection is just so powerful for actually making that a real relationship, rather than just another attempt that goes nowhere.
Yeah, it's all about being genuine. And here's the key to it. Yeah, probably the biggest feedback we have from some people is they go, "Oh, I don't have time to do this."
Right. And
I just say, you don't have time to spend 30 seconds on a lead or a customer. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like what does the world come to that we don't want to do that anymore? Right. Now, lucky for you guys is that everyone else in the world thinks this way. Everyone's thinking about scale and scale and scale. The reality is you can scale relationships. They only cost 30 seconds to make a first impression that will just blow all your competitors out the water. That to me is cheap. That to me is cheap. Yeah, that's worth. And the other thing is, it's not as cheap. It's the thing that you should be doing. I think there's two parts to it. It will help your business, but if you're the right person and you feel that this is the right thing to do, you're going to be successful in business anyway.
Absolutely,
because you're actually willing to take it. And that's all it is. It's very, very simple at heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to your point, the reality with this, and by the way, we just got some comments. We got Amy coming in here saying hi. So hi, Amy. Welcome to the show. Amy also showed us a nice bear emoji representing your awesome bear onesie. So yeah, and the reality is, so it's part of what I like about what you mentioned. So in your intro, we talked about how true relationships are at the heart of sales and retention. And by the way, that is like tenfold more important in real estate. The reality is, when you're doing a 6 to 7 figure transaction with a person, you don't do that kind of transaction with somebody you don't know, like, and trust, right? Like you don't do that kind of business with somebody that you don't establish a relationship with. So building those relationships is so important. But you're right, the challenge is often in the scale, because without tools like Bonjoro, it would be hard, right? Like I'm trying to think through if I, and I'm a fairly techie person, if I was going to go through and try and do this without the tool, it would be, like what? I might pop open like my YouTube app, I might record something in there, but now I've got to record it. I've got to find the person's email. I've got to tie that all together on my phone. Like it takes something that would normally be, what could be in Bonjoro is literally, like you said, like a 30-second process, and turns it into something that's, per lead, going to take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, which may not sound like much, but it adds up if you're generating lots and lots of leads and new customers every day. So yeah, like seriously, guys. So this is going to be a combination of content and a little bit of a pitch on my end too for this tool, because it's fantastic. So I got in and I literally, I don't know, maybe it was like 5-10 minutes before I actually had my first one out, and like I think that's including like I got a Zapier set up so that every time I get a new subscriber, I'm getting a notification now in in my Bonjoro to reach out to them. And like seriously, it took me like maybe 10 minutes to do that, and to actually record the Bonjoro. Seriously, like here, I'm gonna pull it up right now, guys. So I'm opening up the app. I've got it here on my phone. Here we go. And in here, now I'm gonna plug, cover the information. Where's the screen? There we go. Yeah, hopefully you guys can't actually see the name, but that's a new customer of mine. So I have in here the ability to really quickly shoot a quick video for him. And here, look, we're going to do it live. We're going to do it while we're on here. So here. Hey man, good to have you. Good to have you as a customer. Excited to get started with you. I'm actually doing this right now live on my Facebook Live. So you and I talked a little bit about Facebook Lives and how that could be a good option for your business as well. But I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to say welcome. Wanted to let you know that if you need any help, feel free to reach out. You can actually reply to this email, and I'd be happy to answer any questions and help you get started. So thanks so much for signing up, and looking forward to working with you. So, okay, so that's literally, and here we go. We got it playing. I'm going to add a custom message. Welcome to the team. Going to press OK. And then I can send, here we go. I can pick my, there we go. I can pick my little icon there, confirm and send, and there we go. It's done. Like,
that's it.
Like, I know there are potentially other ways to get this done. I don't know if there's any other way that's this easy. And that's the point, right, Matt?
Yeah, it's about scale. It all comes down to scale. So here's the thing, yeah, like you do something well, you look at how you scale next. I mean, I know for a fact there are people out there who do 50 of these every single day.
Right.
Where they're getting 50 inquiries times, and they just go out there for an hour in the morning and they just go boom, 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 smash them out. Right. And it's now just part of their process. And they don't think about it. It becomes part of the day. But what you did just there was perfect. Because and here's the thing, even though you're doing unique ones for every person, try not to make it the same. The more unique you can make the content, the more people enjoy it, the more they get that aha moment where they go, oh, that's actually happening. This is actually real. And it just makes them smile. And then that's how you get your results. So the more you can play with it, and like I said earlier, to that example, you know, if you mess up or, you know, you don't quite say something perfectly, just send it anyway.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right. Exactly. And that's part of, honestly, and this might be part of the reason why you were, you know, happy to come on and do this with me. But that's part of what I love about these Facebook Lives too, is right. Like there's no escaping the mistake. There's no escaping the problems that happen. So you have to get out there. You have to be authentic. You have these real conversations. And that's a nice part of what this tool allows you to do. It allows you to actually establish a very, very low barrier to entry connection with another person. And those connections are what really create business. So it's fantastic. What for you, so I know for me, I've got some ideas about this. I don't know what for you have been the best use cases for people using this. What are some of maybe the opportunities that people might be missing where they can use a tool like Bonjoro?
I'd say there's two areas where you want to look at. So, you know, the first one really is about onboarding.
Right.
Is how it's, and this applies to everything. This applies, you know, to wealth management, to real estate, to tech companies. But it's essentially that first touch point that you have with a client. And I don't mean cold sales here. Cold sales is very different. Right. Don't use Bonjoro to reach out to strangers because it can be a bit weird. Like 100%. You know? Right. What it is it's when you get that inquiry or something comes in and you're just putting a face to a name. It's that simple. Now, if you're a good person, you have a great team, your culture will come across in who you are. You'll get trust, you'll get a reaction, and you'll get a response. Exactly. Now, that's the one way. Now, wherever that happens to be, now, if that's real estate, obviously, this could be inquiries coming in, it could be leads, it could be recommendations, anything else. Right. The other area, which is probably harder to get your head around, but is actually more important, is this piece of retention. Yeah, so retention is key. So, and this is the point that once you have a customer, once you have a client, stay with them over time. Right. You know, stay with them and treasure them and delight them. So drop them a message, you know, like once every 6 weeks and say, hey, you know, I'm here getting ice cream with my kids. Saw this wonderful property, just made me think of you. I want to know that, you know, you're enjoying the new house and everything's going well. Right. Now, if you do this, and it's harder because it's not top of mind, you will start to systematically generate word of mouth. So what you'll see is, people like Pat Flynn are great at this, is that you'll notice on Twitter, people will receive his video, his Bonjoro, they'll tweet that Bonjoro out so people are allowed to share these. Right. And then it'll go on Twitter, people will say, oh my God, Pat Flynn just took the time to, you know, say hi to me. And I put it on Twitter, 100 other people will see that tweet. And then what do you think that does Pat Flynn? Everyone goes, oh my God, Pat Flynn's a great guy. Because he is. Right. So it's really looking at those touch points. But I think, you know, onboarding, retention are the two major ways. Within those, there are multiple points, but just start off first response, and then, checking after 6 weeks.
Yeah, awesome. And specifically in the real estate world, there's a couple of ways that I see being able to do this. So let me make sure I've got these covered for myself. So I've got onboarding and I've got attention. Okay. So for retention. Sorry. Okay. So for onboarding, the most prime example is the one I think we started with. Would you agree that example of a new lead coming in off a site like Zillow or off your website, that's a great opportunity for these, first reach outs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so it's a great way as a real estate agent, your primary objective in that first contact, in that first connection, should really be just about basically making it known that you're there to help them with whatever help they need in the context of how they came in. So one thing, and I really want to point this out to real estate agents, because unfortunately in the real estate industry, people are making lots of mistakes in this way. Your first goal when you're reaching out to people isn't to convince them that you're the best agent in the world. They don't care. They don't care about how many deals you've done. They don't care how successful you are. They don't care about that. What they care about is, can this person help me? And do I believe that they can? And so you look to make that connection. You do it in a contextual way to how they came in. So if they inquired on Zillow, talk about that. Talk about how you might be able to take that help further, right? That's the first kind of connection that you're going to make. So that would be the first onboarding kind of thing for me. Secondarily, anybody on a real estate, in a real estate team, I know more and more real estate agents are becoming more distributed. Their teams are becoming more distributed. So especially some of these bigger teams, bigger agents, they're getting more people actually in their business on their own team, right? So not clients, but new team members. I think this is a great way to be able to have an initial welcome to your team, to new employees, to new agents, that kind of thing that are joining your business. Have you guys seen that as a useful tool for that as well?
Yeah. So I think it's kind of one of these edge cases,
right?
And look, we're still early to start seeing this. It's funny, we set up emails in our team.
Right.
By the way, anyone who wants to send us a message, send a Bonjoro to earth@bonjoro.com. It goes to my entire team around the world. Right. And we just use it for updates. We welcome you team members, but then if someone's out having a beer, they'll be like, "Hey guys, thinking about you all." It goes out so much nicer than the email. It's so much funnier as well. Right. And then we have clients that we have are using it to welcome new team members. So before that person comes in, they walk in the door, and it's amazing how much a 30-second video makes you feel like you know somebody. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure before I came on this, you saw me welcome to the platform, you probably came on here and said, I kind of know what kind of guy Matt is. Right. Don's the best. Exactly. Exactly. So for onboarding, we've covered welcoming new leads. We've covered potentially using it as a way to welcome new team members, new employees, that kind of thing, just as a way to really create that connection, especially in environments where you have a distributed team. I think that covers in terms of onboarding for most. So here's the other one that I think would be good too. One of the things that I know is very can be a very sticky part of the sales process is that stage right after somebody's inked the paperwork, right? They're working with you, they're your client, but they're not but you haven't started the work yet. And I see Bonjoro as being a really great way to bridge that gap, to say, we just had a great meeting. I just wanted to let you know, here's some of the next steps and remind you about some of the top most important things, right? If you need help, this is who you reach out to. If you those kinds of questions where you just have that sort of welcome as a customer specifically, sort of video message. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, digging down a little bit deeper, and depends on the process of you as a business. Right. We wrote a blog recently where we talked about the handoff between sales and customer success. Right. Customer service, or at least sales, handoff between team members. We did a bit of a checklist, but one of the things that should go along with that is if you're handing over to other team members, both like get in the video and be like, hey Brian, look, I love working with you. By the way, this is Jane. She's going to hold your hand from now on. You know, if anything like this, you contact her. And then suddenly she's been welcomed. It's like an introduction, like an informal introduction.
Absolutely.
That's just the best, like beat CC in the email, like any day of the week.
Yeah, and that's such a fantastic point too, because this is actually a really common problem that I've started to see in the real estate space, especially as agents are building out teams, building out these bigger organizations themselves, is that process of going from the person that you did the sales with to maybe the person who's actually going to do like the back end servicing. If they're not the same person, that handoff can be very touchy if you don't do it right. And so like one of the things that I've heard it called is saying, instead of having it be a handoff, you call it be a hand up, right? And you make it very clear, I'm not passing you off to somebody else because I'm too busy for you, as much as I'm making sure that you are talking to the person who can most help you. And I'm making sure that you're working with the person that is going to be able to take care of you great. And it's almost like I'm horrible at this aspect. You really want to be working with this person because they're great at it. You're going to love working with them. And it's a great opportunity to have that sort of conversation to make them feel like, oh, I'm not getting kicked around. I'm getting upgraded, essentially, is the idea.
I love that. I love everything you just said, and I'm totally going to steal that as well.
Sounds good. All right, awesome. So we've got a few different options that we just covered for onboarding. So we've got the new lead, we've got the new team member, we've got they've actually become a client, and the sort of handoff process from inking the deal to actually servicing them as a customer, right? So now let's talk a little bit more about retention. So this is one of the ones that I think for real estate agents that they can get some really good results doing some of these things that you talked about. I think it's going to be key for them to have some really specific ways to systematically think about it. Now, obviously, if you're out and about, if you see something come up, if you see something that's a really good way to connect with somebody, if you know that you've got a client that's really into the Dallas Cowboys and you happen to see something that reminds you of them, right? Like shooting one right there is a great opportunity. So definitely do that. But I know that some of these things can also be good to be systematic, to remind yourself, it's time to follow up and what can I follow up about, that kind of thing. So some of the great opportunities for real estate agents, you've got the anniversary of the home sale or the home purchase, right? So that's a great time to potentially say, hey, it's been about a year since you got this home. I hope everything's been great. As always, if you have any questions about the local area and need any help, need any recommendations for places to eat or businesses that might be a good fit for problems that you're facing, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Those kinds of updates. You've also got birthdays, right? So that's a really simple, really, really obvious one to be able to follow up with people and make those connections. And this was the other aspect that I was gonna mention too. Now, I would say in general, just because like real estate agents are very often dealing with an astronomical number of leads, the more that they get into the business. So when you're dealing with the retention side of things, you're going to want to focus on a specific group, I think, for that, right? Like it's not going to be every lead that you're doing this with. This is kind of your grade A people that you've done business with or that you have a close connection with. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So the way to do this is with integrations. So you mentioned you use that Zapier set and hook into your system right now.
Right.
Zapier is a great go-between that we use, and you can build completely custom rules. So essentially, what you can probably do in your system is set up that when someone has a birthday, it does X. Now we can take that and go, when it does X, create a to-do Bonjoro and write birthday message underneath it. So on the app, someone will come in and it'll say birthday message. You know it's that person's birthday to go and do a video.
Right.
Now, it comes down to how you build these rules. It's really important. What I would do is do like a 6 weeks after sale.
Right.
I would probably do an earlier check-in. Hey, look, just want to say thanks again. Like the idea of saying thank you, massively important. Say that again. And then just check in and make sure everything's okay at that point. Now, obviously, if it's a sale client, they're a high-value client. In those early days, they're very excited, they're very happy.
Right.
They're much more likely to take a message and share it out and tell their friends and be like, you never guess what, 6 weeks afterwards,
right, the
whole team did a video together and said, congrats, and that was amazing. And they've gone told 10 people, and those 10 people are coming in now as leads.
Right.
So if you've got happy customers, happiness, rules that, and it's not every lead, it's problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think we got a little bit of a spotty connection. I think that came through clear enough for me to understand it, though. So yeah, just to kind of summarize from the real estate specific standpoint, some of the common terminology, you have the people that you call your sphere of influence, your SOI. Generally, you can kind of classify these groups into a few different people. But with retention, the kind of people that we're going to be using this for in real estate, that I think is the best fit, is going to be your sphere of influence. It's going to be your past clients, and it's going to be anybody who's sending you a good amount of referrals. So these are kind of your top end, sphere of influence. So we actually, I recently did an episode. Oh, here I got a second one for Matt coming in here. Let me bring him in. But so I recently did an episode with Chris. Matt, can you hear us again?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
There we go. Apparently we've got Matt's clone, Matthew Barnett 2 now. So same great same great name, same great onesie. Anyway, so I recently did an episode with an agent out of the Salt Lake area. His name's Chris Bowen. And he was talking about a strategy that he uses where he actually invites he invites past clients and what he would call like his his grade A sphere of influence people to these events quarterly. So like they'll rent out a whole movie theater and do for like a showing of like the new Star Wars movie, for instance, and then invite all their past clients out to this to be able to connect with them and build that face-to-face time. But those are going to be the kind of people that are going to make a ton of sense for these retention strategies, these strategies where you reach back out, you send them these sort of videos just to reconnect with them. And yeah, the easiest way to do that is exactly like Matt was talking about, where you can leverage something like Zapier, you leverage something like your CRM, and you automate this to remind yourself, hey, it's time for me to send them a message, whether it's a birthday message or a home sale anniversary message, that kind of thing. So that's part of what's nice about this, is that you can automate this process to really have a good opportunity to do this sort of follow up. Now we got Matt coming in and out here, so hopefully we're able to resolve any technical issues going on. While we're waiting for him to come back in, got Michael who said that he's loving that onesie. So excited to have you on, Michael. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for commenting. We still got a good number. Again, let's see if everything is working fine again. Might still be having issues, might not. I'm not sure. Let's try it again. Matt, do I got you back?
I'm back. I think Australia's waking up and breaking into it.
We could probably start wrapping it up since the internet is causing us some problems. But let's see. Discussion. Is there anything else that you think that we've missed that we should cover, that you think people should know about this awesome tool?
I think really it's just comes back to this being authentic. I think just be willing to take the time with customers.
Right.
And most importantly, give it a shot. So like try it out. This is not a plug, but there's a 14-day trial. So there's kind of nothing to lose by giving it a go.
Right.
Don't approach it as a sales tool and go, right, results on day one. You have to work at it. You have to mean it when you do it. You can't just try and spam it or try and kind of trick your way around it.
Right.
Like if you're not being authentic and not trying and not caring, it won't work.
Absolutely.
And that's for us is a beauty. Okay.
Yeah. And that's exactly going to come through. I mean, if people can't sense the reality of that you care about connecting with them, that you care about actually helping them, that'll come through, tenfold more if you have an connecting them to the solutions that they need, that kind of thing. So absolutely, that makes tons of sense. So we got Bonjoro.com. Is that the best place for people to go? Is there anything else that they should do, or just go there, sign up, try it out?
Go there, sign it up. Every single person who signs up will get a welcome video from one of my team. I probably won't invite you because you see me. Let's let another team do it. For anyone in real estate, because then you'll kind of get it. You'll be like, oh yeah, new person who took the time. Do that, and then send a video back to us. Send one back. We'd love to hear from you. But know that we're not just doing videos for the sake of it. We're there to help. So if you have any questions, have any thoughts, fire back. Me and my team will help you out 24/7. That's it.
Guys, I mean, I can't tell you enough. I signed up. I've been using it. It's super cool. Intuitively, I can understand exactly the power that this adds. That's part of why I wanted to bring Matt on, why I wanted to talk about this, because I see how powerful of a tool it can be. So Bonjoro, for me, the biggest thing that I liked about it is other tools, other things out there can be convoluted, can be confusing, and may not have as clear a place in your business. But Bonjoro really fit as a nice, simple, easy way to make real connections with people and have those connections actually be able to turn into business. So I very much encourage you guys, if you haven't already, if you haven't tried it out, go to bonjoro.com. I have the URL there. Let me go ahead and drop it into the comments as well. Here we go. And that way you guys can go there and check it out. So this is 100% just I like the tool. I thought it was useful. I thought it was really cool. Matt is not paying me to give this glowing endorsement or anything like that. This is just 100%. I thought it would help you guys, so I wanted to bring that on to talk about it with you guys. So I think that about covers it for now. But I want to open up one more segment for you guys. I see we've still got some live viewers on. Anybody watching live, if you have questions for Matt or for me about how maybe you can use this tool or how you can integrate it into your business or anything like that, Matt, you still have a little bit of time to be able to field some questions. Awesome. So Matt's got some time. If you guys want to join into the conversation, there's a couple of ways that you could do so. So first off, you want to make sure that you're on facebook.com/real estate growth hackers. You want to go there. Otherwise, we won't be able to see your comments. So you want to go there, and if you drop a comment in, we'll see it on that page, and we'll be able to answer it. But also, I've got something else that you guys can do if you want to. So let me grab this link real quick. So I'm dropping a link into the comments on this video as well. And that link will actually let you join in live. So you can go into our lobby. We could bring you on via video. You could do this from your phone. You could do this from your computer, and you could actually come on and ask us questions live as well. So if you want to do it that way, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you could feel free to drop some comments in the below the video here. While we'll give you guys, and here, let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna hide this one, and I'm just gonna say ask questions in the comments. That way, anybody who might be coming in later knows exactly what's going on right now. But while we're waiting for other people to potentially do that, let me ask you just a couple other questions. And these are sort of more general questions that should just be relevant no matter what. And here, let me close that out. There we go. Okay, so what if you had to say some tools other than Bonjoro, which we know and love now? What are some of the other tools that you use in your business? And when I say tools, I'm talking about anything and everything, whether it's software, whether it's a journal, whether it's something like this timer here. What are some of the tools that help you get business done day after day?
Post-it notes. No,
awesome.
Online, like, we're a little bit different because we're obviously a tech company, but we probably live and breathe on Intercom a lot.
Gotcha.
So Intercom.io is the CRM that we use.
Right.
It's a really great way for my team, and we have a disparate teams. We have teams around the world in 3 time zones, so it allows us all to field responses from customers 24/7, and they hand off between each other. So I think one of the important things here is giving the best customer service. It allows us to do that and to respond with anyone in the world within about 30 minutes to an hour.
Nice.
Super easy to do. But you can't lost without it. But again, it's kind of biased towards tech companies, I think. Right.
And explain a little bit about what Intercom kind of allows you to do. Intercom, that's the software that kind of sits on the sites and like lets you communicate with people that come to the site and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so it's got a few parts to it. I mean, this is the great thing is that it's got a few parts bundled in. Chat boxes on site, so people can do support requests. It has a Zendesk kind of product in there, so you can build help documents as well. Right. And then it also has emailing, so email campaigns built on rules of what users do. So, awesome. X days after someone's inquired, you can drop them an automated message and say, hey, this is an automated message, but just in case you didn't realize, let's do this. The other thing, and it's going to be obvious, but if you're not using it yet, Slack. So as far as things, it's something that's been obviously kind of driven into the tech world, but now again I see insurance brokers over here using Slack, and it's starting to go into the corporate side. And I think in terms of team engagement and communication, it's amazing.
Yeah, and
it's just
I was just gonna say, for anybody watching who doesn't know what Slack is like it's like the old AOL chat rooms, but brought back to today. So you have these you have the abilities to have a main chat kind of for your whole team. Maybe it's everybody in the brokerage, maybe it's everybody in your specific team, but you guys can have a live feed chat where you're communicating with each other. But you can also go one-to-one and communicate with each other with direct messages. You can create groups that you can chat about specific topics. So if you're gearing up for a specific event and there's only a handful of people involved in that, you can chat through that kind of thing. And then Slack also integrates with a whole lot of other things. So you can have notifications come into your Slack when a new lead is generated or when something needs to be done in the business. So it integrates with all sorts of stuff. It allows for really great communication. It's definitely a fantastic tool to be looking at, and you can get started in Slack for free. So it's a cool way to start.
And one of the if you are a Slack user, one of the channels you should create, which is the best channel to ever do, is create a feedback channel and have every time they get good customer feedback on email, on SMS, on Bonjoro, of course, post those in there so the whole company can see and celebrate that good feedback. It's something that I think should be done more internally.
Yeah, awesome. And that makes tons of sense because, very often, especially even if the business has a few, even just a few team members, right? Like you will have a degree of separation from the person that's monitoring the the local review sites like your Google reviews or your Yelp reviews, or as a real estate agent your Zillow reviews, but even getting a response via email or that kind of thing too, or again like you mentioned, if you get good feedback as a result of a Bonjoro, having the opportunity for everybody on the team to see that win and see that success and know that they're part of something that's working is a really big morale booster. That makes a ton of sense. So that's you would add a feedback channel to your Slack.
That's it. Yeah, team feedback, and then celebrate it. Yeah.
And one of the big reasons why I heard people start using Slack that just made the most sense to me was I see a lot of people using something like maybe like using Google Hangouts or using like Skype or other chat channels. What's nice about Slack is just a very technical order of operations sort of thing, which is in Slack, when you get a new member to the team, you add that one member and now they can see everybody else in the team. Whereas with most of these other platforms, you have to have like every member add that one person in order for them to be able to communicate. And it's just organizationally, it's a much bigger challenge. So having that one to many, scalability there is really nice and useful. So awesome. So we got Slack, we got Intercom, and again, for Intercom, for anybody else in the real estate industry, this is probably for you guys going to be a combination of tools, different real estate CRMs, maybe like a live chat software or something like Zendesk or Freshdesk or something like that allows you to field support requests. And then we got Post-it notes. So do we have any other tools? Anything else in your belt as important tools?
I mean, I'll be honest. Like everything else is kind of plug and play around those. I think those are probably our core that we're really down on. I think look, obviously there's kind of processes that we do as a remote team.
Right.
Culture's at the heart of everything we do. So culture is really important to us.
Right.
Our goal is to be the next Zappos. So from Vegas, exactly that. So I think to get there, you really have to focus down on culture. And so I think just taking time each week, especially on a Friday, to make sure that the beers happen. With us, we do a call at 7 a.m. in the morning here in Sydney, nice. 10 p.m. in the UK, and I think 3 in the afternoon in Colorado, to make sure that the whole team can get on Skype and talk. Because it's important to have FaceTime and to have, fun each week as if you were all in the same room.
Right.
So I think a few processes around culture, and just I think the one thing to remember is that with doing great culture in a company, it doesn't just happen. You have to actively work at it.
Right.
And you have to actively think and take time and put processes in place around that. And Friday afternoon is obviously a great way to do that.
Exactly.
Just always be conscious is what I'd say. Yeah,
that makes tons of sense. So having those specific processes as a business that you remember to take a step back and actually have fun, especially way more important as a distributed team than it is otherwise, because those opportunities in a physical location often arise somewhat naturally. Even still, you should be systematic about it. But as a distributed team, you have to be conscious of it, or it just won't happen, right? So yeah, that's a powerful mindset to have there. So let's move on to the next question. So who are some of the people that you look up to? Who are some of your mentors or influences, whether in business and life, whatever? Who are some people that maybe our audience could check out as good people to check into and look at?
Yeah, I'm going to be biased, but yeah, Tony Hsieh.
Okay.
So if you haven't read it, read his book, In Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
It's amazing. I think so. He pretty much wrote the book on culture, and it's funny because Zappos is not as well known outside the States, but you just look at what they've done over there and how they did it and what they built with the resources they had. It was all because of culture and amazing customer service.
Right.
They basically learn how to delight customers systematically, which is kind of what we're trying to do here.
Right.
And they were far better than we are at the moment. We have a long way to go.
Right, right.
I think that idea of just putting customer at the heart and using that as an ethos to grow such a successful business is not a route taken by many, and yet it's one that anyone can compete on. You might not be able to compete on product. You might not be able to compete on price. But you can definitely compete on customer service. Everyone has that option. And it's a way to win, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. And yeah, Zappos as a company is super cool. Have you ever been out here to Las Vegas or Henderson and seen their campus and experienced that? It's a pretty cool thing if you haven't.
No, I will come over and I'll be hitting you up when I get in.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, but yeah, that will happen soon.
Around Christmas, they actually did a public event, and literally, oh man, it was one of the coolest things. They had a tree lighting. They had like a stage with professional ballerinas and stuff doing like the Nutcracker and stuff from that. They had like all sorts of just free like treats and things like gourmet s'mores and fresh popped popcorn and fresh roasted nuts and hot chocolate. And I think they had like a train. I forget what else they had. It was a super cool thing that they just they did for the community, and it was a way for kind of the Las Vegas community to interact with Zappos and really enjoy that holiday time and whatnot together. So it was they don't just do things that cool as a company, but they're also very cool in terms of how they interact with where they do business, which is nice too. So yeah, absolutely love it. Tony Shea, great person to check out, to learn from about customer service, about building a business around culture. So absolutely. So we just covered one, but what are some books that have influenced you, whether you've read recently or a long time ago? If you had to pick, 1 to 3 books, that would be your top recommendations for people to read.
Yeah, so True Happiness, I'd say it's a really good book. And again, it's interesting coming from a tech side. It might be interesting for the guys in real estate, because I think it is good to read outside of your sphere of influence.
Absolutely.
Read a book called Traction.
Yep, that one's good.
So it goes through the 18, 19 different ways of growing a company. And it covers events, it covers sales, it covers, it's company's old now, but it goes through looking at all those different mechanisms to grow and basically crossing most of them off and trying to get down to the 3. Right. It's quite a good way of just thinking and making sure that you are checking different bases to grow, that you are thinking outside the box, that you're not just going with, the ad hoc, just the status quo of how to grow a company.
Absolutely.
And then the other one I love is, and I can't quite remember the name. It's called How I Raise Myself.
How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. That one.
Yeah. So
yeah, I forget who that one's by. I think I have it on my wall though.
It was one of the contemporaries of Carnegie back in the day, and and the bit why it's so good is because it was written in like 1930s, was it 1940s?
Yeah, it's an older one for sure.
It's an older one, and yet it reads. Okay, look, a few things are dated, but it reads like it could apply today.
Absolutely,
and that's it. You know what? It's almost not what he teaches you. It's the fact that you read it and you go, sales hasn't changed. It hasn't changed in 80 years. Yeah, the core things still count, and this is relationships, listening to customers, appearing the right way that you should do, being that. None of those lessons have changed. Right. And that is eye-opening, I think, if you haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
Despite technology, despite social media, doesn't matter.
And it, especially, honestly, in the real estate industry, with sales being such a very heavy component. If you're in real estate, you are in sales, right? And you're in one of the I don't know if it's necessarily one of the harder or not, but it is very heavy sales as opposed to some industries that are a little bit softer. So it is that is definitely, it's a fantastic book in the real estate industry. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm not seeing any questions come in, which is fine. People are just taking in all the goodness that we're given. I guess we've answered all the questions. But if you had to have so say people watching this, they watch it and they only remember 3 things from everything that we've talked about. What would the 3 things that you want people to remember from this episode to be? What do you want them to walk away with?
Yeah. So first of all, I'd say take the time for each and every customer, because you don't know who will be the customer at the end of the day.
Right.
So take time. I think don't forget how to be personal.
Right.
As well. Don't just think scale and automation. Like, stop it. Like, everyone's been doing that for the last 10 years.
Right.
Be personal again, and just find ways to scale that, because that's the only way you can win. And then the last one, which is going to be, it's more one of our core values, and it's a weird one, is be honorable in business.
Right.
And this is going to be left wing, but I think people sometimes make wrong decisions in business, and it's hard not to.
Right.
I think if you think this idea of honor, and obviously I'm English, so this is kind of like how he builds. If you think about the idea of honor, then it's a really good moral standpoint for what decisions you should be making.
Right.
And if you're going to hold to that, it will show in the way that you deal with customers, in the way that you sell, the way that you grow, in the way that you hire, and it will define a culture that people will want to work for and that they want to buy from.
Right.
That would be my one moral kind of like hurrah. Stick to.
Fair enough. So again, we've got take time for each customer, right? We've got be personal and find ways to scale it, okay? And we've got be honorable in business. So those are our top 3 takeaways from Matt Barnett from Bonjoro. And one more time, let's go ahead and take a little bit of time again. Anybody going to experience the awesomeness that is this tool that we just talked about called Bonjoro?
Get it, bonjoro.com. You can't read the onesie because it's backwards, but go to bonjoro.com. Check it out. It's completely free. Try it out. Have some fun with it.
Yep.
And don't take it seriously. That's it.
What was that?
Don't take it too seriously when you do it.
Right.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's one of the keys that makes it work. It's not going to be the kind of thing where you want to have a super professional, polished image every time you're getting on it. You want to be real. You want to connect with people. Take the time. Go out there. Go to bonjoro.com. Check it out. You guys have apps for both the Android and the iOS, right? Yep.
Oh yeah.
And you can set it up. You can integrate it with all sorts of stuff in the real estate space. Unfortunately, maybe not everything that you guys use is going to integrate with it, but I know there's a handful of things that will integrate really readily. We've got RealVolve, we've got Follow Up Boss. I know there's a lot of these that integrate with Zapier that work. And regardless, if you use something like Zapier, you could set up some of these things and make it work. So either way, it's a really easy way for you guys to make those connections with your new leads, with your clients, with your past clients, with your friends and family, and let them know about what you're doing in business, or just make connections in general. So definitely check it out. I've loved it. I loved having you on, Matt. Thanks so much for coming on the show. One last question for you. Do you know of anybody that you think would be a good fit to come on this? We talk to real estate agents. We talk to people who are looking to grow their real estate business, whether it's somebody who has experience in real estate, or whether it's somebody who offers a product or service that would just make sense to help real estate agents grow their business. Do you know of anybody that would be a good fit to come on?
Just thinking, I think leave that one with me. Let me dig down. I just want to get someone who's most value for you guys.
Awesome.
Leave with me and I'll come back, I think. Off the top of my head though. I'm not quite sure.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'll reach out to you after the show, and you can let me know who you think would be a good fit. And everybody, anybody watching. So first off, go get the Bonjoro. Here, let me see. Where will my finger be pointing correctly? That way, I think. Points correctly. Go and get that app. Try it out. Start connecting with your leads. Start connecting with your customers. After you've done that, make sure that you're liking this video, that you're commenting. Let Matt know how much you loved the great content that he brought us today. All the great information for how you can be using this cool tool to grow your real estate business. And we will see you guys on the next one. Matt, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you go for now. Thanks so much for coming on. And yeah. Looking forward to using your tool and continuing to grow my business with it as well.
Awesome. Cheers, Zach. Cheers, everyone.
And then one last thing before I fully wrap up, if you guys haven't already, we've got more of these great shows coming up. Matt's going to be connecting me with somebody, I'm sure, that's going to be just as awesome, just as valuable as that was. Go ahead and if you haven't already, drop a comment below and say just drop the comment that says notify. My team will reach out to you. We'll let you know. I can get on a notification list so that the next time we're coming out with an episode like this, you can make sure that you're able to get on live, interact with us, possibly come on and actually talk to our guests. Also, if you haven't already, one of the things that we do is we have a free gift available for you that's called Ultimate Lead Machine. Ultimate Lead Machine is our framework, our process that we've taken to show you, once you've generated a lead, what do you do from then on, right? What do you do? How do you process that lead initially? What do you do if you can't get a hold of them? What do you do if you can get a hold of them, but they're not looking to do business anytime soon? All that and everything in between. We walk you through our exact framework for how you can take those leads and process them. If you want to get access to that, again, it's completely free. All you got to do is drop a comment below this video that says lead tips, and my team will reach out to you and let you know how you can get that. If you happen to be listening to this on the podcast, feel free. You can get the same thing by texting lead tips. That's LEADTIPS to 444-999. That's lead tips, one word, to 444-999. Thanks so much, and thank you so much for coming on. I had a blast talking to Matt, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Growth Hacker Show. Remember, done is better than perfect. To turn the marketing ideas and tactics you just learned into real growth for your real estate business, visit us at realestategrowthhackers.com. If you like this episode, consider sharing it with another real estate professional who could benefit from the information. Or maybe you'd like to subscribe to the show to never miss an episode. You can leave a rating or review on iTunes with your biggest takeaway, helping this show to reach and help more people just like you. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.